What if one country could be 4 different vacations in one? Imagine sleeping inside the world's largest cave, cruising between 2,000 limestone islands, hiking rice terraces that look like green staircases into the clouds, and ending on a quiet white sand island with turquoise water, all without leaving the same country. That place is Vietnam. In the next video you're about to watch, I'll take you from the far north to the southern islands. You'll see the must-visit highlights, the hidden gems locals love, and the exact route to piece a 10 to 30-day trip together so you don't waste time or money. Stick around. By the end, you'll know which region fits your vibe and how to turn a good trip into an unforgettable one. Vietnam isn't just another Southeast Asian destination. It's a country shaped by contrasts. Picture this. In the morning, you're standing on a misty mountain ridge where farmers still plow fields with buffalo. By nightfall, you're sipping iced coffee at a rooftop bar, watching motorbikes flow through neon-lit streets like a river of light. That's Vietnam. Ancient traditions pulsing right beside modern ambition. It's a place where history, nature, and hustle all collide. From the French colonial architecture in Hanoi to the tech-driven cafes of Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam tells a story of a country racing forward while holding tight to its roots. And travelers feel it the moment they arrive. Everything feels alive. The markets hum like living organisms. The street food hits every flavor note from spicy to sweet, and the landscapes shift so dramatically it's hard to believe you're in one country. But here's the catch. Because Vietnam is so diverse, most visitors only scratch the surface. They rush from Hanoi to Halong Bay, maybe stop in Hoi An, then fly south, missing the layers that make the country truly unforgettable. That's why, in this video, we'll slow down the journey and explore Vietnam like a storyteller, north to south, uncovering the meaning, beauty, and character hidden in each region. Northern Vietnam is where the country's soul feels oldest, rugged, misty, and deeply connected to tradition. It's a region that doesn't just show you scenery, it shows you Vietnam's roots. Start in Hanoi, the capital. It's not just a city, it's a sensory overload. You'll hear the buzz of scooters, smell fresh herbs from food stalls, and see locals sipping café sua ja, strong coffee sweetened with condensed milk, while talking politics and football. Hanoi is like a living museum of Vietnam's history. Centuries-old temples stand beside French-era buildings, and around every corner there's a story told through taste, sound, or smell. But step outside Hanoi, and the landscapes completely change. Head to Sapa, where terraced rice fields wrap around mountains like green ribbons. Early in the morning, clouds hang so low they kiss the hills, and you'll pass Hmong and Dao villagers in traditional dress, walking trails their ancestors carved hundreds of years ago. It's Vietnam's highland heartbeat, raw, real, and humbling. Then there's Ha Giang, often called Vietnam's last frontier. The roads curve like silk ribbons through limestone peaks, and the views make you feel like you've driven into a painting. It's less touristy than Sapa, more adventurous, more untamed. The kind of place where every turn feels like discovering something new. And of course, the Halong Bay region, those famous emerald waters dotted with limestone islands. It's where Vietnam's wild geography turns cinematic. Whether you cruise, kayak, or just drift in silence, it feels like time slows down. Northern Vietnam is more than landscapes. It's where you feel Vietnam's depth. Every smile, every market, every mountain road tells you the same thing. This is a country that's lived through everything and still finds beauty in every corner. If the north is Vietnam's heart, then the center is its memory, the meeting point of dynasties, empires, and modern life. Every city here feels like a time capsule that tells a different chapter of Vietnam's story. Start with Hue, the ancient capital. Once home to emperors and mandarins, Hue still carries a quiet sense of authority. Walk through the imperial citadel, and you'll feel like you've stepped back into the 1800s. Crumbling stone gates, dragon carvings faded by monsoon rain, and moats reflecting golden sunlight. Hue is where Vietnam whispers its history rather than shouts it. Even the food, like bun bo hue, a spicy beef noodle soup, reflects royal roots. Every flavor, every detail feels deliberate. Then just a few hours south, you'll reach Da Nang, a modern beach city that feels like the opposite of Hue. Sleek bridges, glowing skylines, and long stretches of sand that seem to go on forever. But Da Nang's beauty is in its balance. It's clean, modern, and yet only minutes away from Marble Mountains, where ancient Buddhist caves hold statues lit by rays of sunlight. And then, the gem of central Vietnam, Hoi An. It's small, colorful, and effortlessly charming. Lanterns float above cobblestone streets, wooden shophouses glow at sunset, and tailors can turn your sketch into a suit in 24 hours. Hoi An is more than a destination. It's a feeling, calm, warm, timeless. You can spend hours just walking, eating, and watching boats glide down the Thu Bon River. Central Vietnam shows how cultures collided and blended, from Cham temples to French villas to modern resorts. It's a region that teaches you something simple but powerful. Vietnam isn't just surviving history, it's constantly rewriting it. If northern Vietnam feels ancient and central, Vietnam feels timeless, the South feels alive, fast-paced, bold, and unapologetically forward-looking. This is the Vietnam that never sleeps, never slows down, and never stops reinventing itself. It all starts in Ho Chi Minh City, or Saigon, as locals still fondly call it. The moment you step outside, you'll hear a symphony of horns, chatter, and street vendors calling out prices. Glass skyscrapers rise above colonial buildings, and the scent of pho mixes with the smell of motorbike exhaust, chaos and charm in equal measure. But Saigon isn't just noise and traffic. It's where Vietnam's entrepreneurial spirit shines. Teenagers run street stalls after school, coders work from coffee shops, and luxury malls sit beside old temples. Every inch of the city says one thing: the future is being built here. Head a few hours southwest and the tone shifts completely. You'll enter the Mekong Delta, where life moves to the rhythm of the river. Wooden boats float between floating markets selling pineapples, rice, and smiles. Children wave from riverbanks, and fishermen paddle through palm tunnels that look straight out of a dream. It's a reminder that while Saigon races toward the future, the South's strength still comes from its roots: water, trade, and community. Then, when you're ready to breathe, Phu Quoc Island waits. Vietnam's tropical paradise, golden sunsets, coral reefs, and beaches where you can walk for miles without hearing a thing but waves. It's the peaceful exhale after the rush of the city. Proof that even in progress, Vietnam still keeps room for stillness. Southern Vietnam is the finale of the journey, the symbol of what the country is becoming: ambitious, creative, open to the world. It's where old dreams meet new realities, and somehow they fit together perfectly. By now, you've seen how different each part of Vietnam feels. The rugged mountains in the north, the imperial calm of the center, the modern pulse of the south. But beneath all these contrasts lies one invisible thread tying it all together: resilience. Vietnam's beauty isn't just in its landscapes, it's in its people. Decades of war, colonization, and hardship didn't break the spirit here, it refined it. Everywhere you go, you'll feel this quiet determination, a mix of pride and optimism. The farmer in Sapa who still smiles through the fog. The tailor in Hoi An who works until midnight to perfect a design. The startup founder in Saigon building an app that might change the region. They all carry the same spark. And there's another hidden connection: balance. Vietnam somehow keeps harmony between past and future chaos and calm nature and growth. It's a place where a 1,000-year-old temple stands across from a skyscraper, and nobody sees a contradiction. To them, it's all just life moving forward. Traveling through Vietnam teaches you that progress doesn't have to erase history, it can grow from it. The country's diversity isn't division, It's rhythm, like a song with different verses, but one melody that keeps everything flowing. Here's the thing about Vietnam. You can't just see it, you have to feel it. Too many travelers rush through, chasing Instagram spots, ticking boxes, and missing what makes Vietnam unforgettable connection. To experience Vietnam right, slow down. Take the overnight train from Hanoi to Hue instead of flying. Watch how the country unfolds outside your window, from misty hills to rice fields to city lights. Eat where locals eat, even if the menu is handwritten in Vietnamese. Order a random dish, smile, and let curiosity lead you. That's how you'll find the real flavors. Smoky bun cha, crispy bonzeo, and strong coffee that could wake the dead. Talk to people. Vietnamese hospitality isn't loud. It's warm, humble, and genuine. A street vendor might hand you extra herbs just to make sure your soup tastes perfect. A family in a mountain village might invite you in for tea. Accept it. These small moments are what will stay with you long after the photos fade. And don't just focus on the famous spots. Go where the stories hide. The quiet temples, the fishermen's docks, the roadside cafes where time seems to stop. Vietnam rewards those who pay attention. Because in the end, traveling here isn't about checking off destinations. It's about discovering how a country can be both ancient and young, quiet and loud, steady and unstoppable all at once. If you give Vietnam time, it gives you something back: perspective. A reminder that resilience, kindness, and change can live side by side, just like the people who call this place home. When you leave Vietnam, you don't just take photos, you take a feeling. Something about the country stays with you. Maybe it's the way people smile even when life is hard. Maybe it's the smell of grilled meat on a rainy street. Or maybe it's that mix of old and new that makes you question your own pace in life. Vietnam doesn't try to impress you with perfection. It moves you with honesty. The cracked walls, the tangled power lines, the chaos of traffic. It's all part of a rhythm that somehow works. You realize that beauty doesn't always come from order. Sometimes it's the imperfections that make a place unforgettable. And somewhere between the mountains of Ha Giang, the lanterns of Hoi An, and the lights of Saigon, you'll notice something changing, not in Vietnam, but in you. You slow down. You notice more. You start to see how progress and peace can coexist, how chaos can have kindness in it, and how people who have less can often give more. That's what makes Vietnam different. It doesn't just show you its story. It lets you be part of it. So if you've ever dreamed of a journey that's not just a trip but a transformation, Vietnam is waiting.